Folks, friends, fellow degenerate traders, I finally did it. I finally crossed $100,000 in payouts from Apex Trader Funding. I'm so beyond elated and I wanted to share it with all of you. So in this video, I want to show you proof that I actually did it. I don't want to just be another talking head. Then I want to share some of my goals and what went right, what went wrong. And then I want to wrap it up with the most useful part of this particular video, my best tips and tricks of how I got here, and ideally a couple ways that I can even improve myself. So I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. And with that being said, let's rock. Now, very quickly, for those of you who may not have heard of Apex Trader Funding, it's a sim to funded business. So what that means in a nutshell is you take a test on a sim account, a paper trading account, i.e. not real money. And if you do well, then you get a funded account. And if you do well on that, then you get the money. So you get 90% of the money. It's a 90-10 split with the company, but the first $25,000 is yours. So Apex itself allows you to have 20 individual accounts, but obviously you don't have to have 20 if you don't choose. For me personally, I like the 50K account. I like the ratios the best, but obviously I implore you to use whatever is best for you. Now, if you want more of the nuanced details of how this works and what it is and what it isn't, I'll make sure it's in a video in the description of the video or somewhere around here. You'll be able to find it, but that's not really the emphasis of this video. The emphasis of this video is my journey thus far with ATF and where I hope it goes next. So to kick this portion off, let me put my money where my mouth is. Let me prove to you that I actually did it, because I get it. We live in the world of the internet, and there's a lot of people who are, I'm not going to call them liars, but I'm definitely not going to call them truthers either. So anyway, in the recent payment period right here, highlighted on the screen, June 20th, you can see that I requested 8 of them at $2,000 a piece. Count them up, June 20th down to here, June 20th. I was paid out $2K on each one. All of them were approved. 8 times 2,000 is $16,000. So obviously very, very happy about that. But that's not the only thing I'm happy about. If you look at everything that happened in the month of June, currently highlighted on the screen, all are 2,000. Now, if you do the math there, you're going to see that one of them was denied. So 8 plus 9, because I really requested 10, but only 9 got approved. So anyway, feel free to do the math if you so want. But in the month of June, I was approved and paid out for $34,000. Obviously, very, very good month. But the fun does not stop there. Very quickly, I just want to point out how it's showing 56 records. That's how many different requests I've made. Unfortunately, not all 56 have been approved. As you can see highlighted on the screen right here, 5 of them have been denied. They were denied because I broke a rule that I knew was a rule, and it was 100% on me, but it wasn't a surprise. I broke what's referred to as their consistency rule. So that's not a surprise, but I just want to say this number, 56, you should probably take off 5 because I didn't actually get paid out at 5. I just want to be as transparent as I could possibly be. So really, I have 51 records that are all approved at $2K each. I could scroll here if you want to see that they're all $2,000. The other thing I need to show you is that one of them was from last year. So that's why I can officially say in the year of 2024, I've officially hit $100,000 in payouts from Apex. So this brings up the very fair question, what's next? And my answer to that is I have 2 very distinct goals. Goal number 1 is I want to hit $250,000 in payouts by the end of this year. Based on my current trajectory, I think that should be very doable, not so worried. I'm a lot more concerned about my second goal. For those of you who are familiar with Apex, you probably know that you can have up to 20 accounts, but for those of you who aren't familiar, yes, you could trade 20 individual accounts. And since you could take out 2,000 at a time, a max payout would be 40,000. I want to hit that. Thus far, to date, my best has been 11, and that was even before I started this video series. When I started this video series, I think I'm at maybe like 8 or 9. I think 9 is my max. So I'm only halfway there. And for whatever reason, the second half appears to be the tough half. Now, I'm by no means saying that $18,000, $20,000 is small money. I'm just setting myself a goal because I'm one of those people that thinks to achieve hard goals, you have to have it well defined, well specified. So that's why I'm putting it out into the universe, putting it on the interwebs right now. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. In this past payment period, remember, I got 8 approved, which is $16,000. Well, first of all, that's a good. $16,000 is very impactful on my personal life. So straight up, that's a good. Now, some of it, I almost have to split the 10-day trading window in half because I started off really strong. I felt mentally sharp, I felt with it, I felt in groove with the market. The second half was the polar opposite, and that's pretty much my bad. Generally, what I like to do is trade all of my different accounts in a very different way, and I know that's abnormal. In fact, if you watch any of these other Apex related videos, a lot of people are trading their 20 accounts or a big grouping of them, and they use what's referred to as a trade copier, so every single account is trading the same thing. For me, I don't like that because I like to trade different accounts with different styles. Some days I'm like, okay, I want to test an opening range breakout. Maybe another one I want to do something midday. Maybe another day I want to do a moving average crossover. Maybe another day I want to do some EMA line work. Whatever it is, when I have 20 accounts, to me, in my mind, that gives me 20 different attempts to work on different trade ideas that I have. So because of that, when they're working, it's great and it's fun, but sometimes you just get really hit. Now, it kind of changes it because the other way around, if you're using a trade copier, if you hit them, they all work because you had one good trade multiplied by 20 accounts and it's awesome. But also the opposite is true. So if you, all of a sudden you have a bad trade, well, it's not just a bad trade on one account, it's a bad trade on all of the accounts. And that's a weird predicament I'm in because right now I've noticed the math of my situation of trading distinct different styles and I like to test my different accounts. Well, it increases the chances of some success, so that's good rather than all 20, but it decreases the chances of all of them being successful. So I'm in this weird, and obviously you can see it from these videos and my payouts, that I've always been in the middle. So basically I've come up with some decent strategies, but I can't seem to find 20 of them. And that's been my biggest struggle. And because of that, in this last payout period, I was getting frustrated about it. I started just firing from the hip. So I'm really disappointed in my own mental discipline at the conclusion of this last payout period. But I have two major tips for you. Tip number one is, if you don't want to, you don't have to use a trade copier. You could do something similar to me where you're like, okay, one of these I'm going to trade this instrument, a different account I'm going to trade in the morning, the other one I'm going to trade this instrument, but only in the afternoon. And it lets you silo your different ideas. The way I think about it, and I get this question a lot of, why am I doing this? Why not just trade futures? Why not just trade my own accounts? Because I love the math of this situation. Let's just say hypothetically that it takes you a couple times to pass the eval account, then you could finally upgrade. Okay, so let's just say you're in the hole for about $200. Well, a payout request is $2,000, as in I get 10 different opportunities just to break even. I love those numbers. The other situation is if I'm just trading one methodology on my own account and it goes poorly, I lose all my money. So the risk reward of this type of business, of this type of methodology, I am 100% a fan of because I feel like the odds are very much on my side. And I would also argue that now the results are kind of proving that the odds are on my side. That's maybe not necessarily a major tip, but maybe just a slightly different way to consider what this service is. I view it as different siloed ways to really hone my own skills within the market. And I've said this on my stream, and just so you guys know, I stream my account every single morning, Monday to Friday, 9 to 11. Feel free, pop by, say hi, join the live stream. But my biggest tip, and all the people on the stream know this, is as soon as you hit your goal for the day, shut it down. My number one tip is do not overstay your welcome. We've all been there where you get into a trade, it goes well, you told yourself you're gonna get out, and then for whatever reason, because we're all undisciplined, degenerate traders, I suppose, it simply does not work. And then you might hit it, and then the worst thing is you do it again and you do it again, but it works until it doesn't. The biggest turn that I found from really when I struggled at the beginning of this year to right now having some success, and to be fair, I'm not at the highest levels of success. I could definitely get better at this, but the biggest turning point was as soon as my plan played out for the day, I just shut the program down. That's my number one tip, is do not overstay your welcome. And also, I guess inherently that means if you don't have a plan, if you're firing from the hip like I recently was, well, maybe pause there and wait till you have a good plan of how you want to approach the market for that day. I hope that makes sense. Obviously, if you have any comments, concerns, thoughts of your own, let me know in a comment below. More than happy to have a conversation with you about it. But I'm telling you, futures, the way it's leveraged, the way it works, money comes and it goes so simply that it's addictive. It truly is to just want to see it. You see that number run up and run up and run up. So you have to be disciplined enough to stick exactly to your trading plan for the day. And really, in a weird way, I'm kind of using this as a video journal of sorts because I thought like it was going well. And then last week, things got a little bit rocky and I'm not the most happy about that. But I'm hoping in the next video where I update you guys, obviously I would like the numbers to be bigger, But the major thing that I'm trying to hone in on is really bringing my discipline to that level that I know I'm gonna need if I wanna hit my other two goals. So that's where we are, officially crossing 100,000 on the month, crossing 34,000. Obviously, I'm very happy with these results, but I do think I can push myself to go to the next level, and I hope you're here on the journey with me. I appreciate your time. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.